Hi, everyone, and welcome to the webinar. Welcome to Reconnect with eBridge. It's a webinar from Team eBridge to our many wonderful customers. So thanks so much again for taking 20 minutes out of your day. So you have a whole boardroom full of people that work here. I'm Lindsay Hampton, Senior Marketing Manager and Customer Accounts, and I'm joined by several key folks. And we're all in the headquarters of eBridge, which is in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. We're just about an hour outside of Toronto, if you haven't been to our office before. So what are we going to talk about in 20 minutes? We will be recording the webinar so you can watch it again. And if you have a question, you can type it into the chat on the right of your screen, and we'll get back to you by the end of today. So two things will be covered. Number one is, what are the most common questions that we've gotten here as a team from our customers this year? And number two is, the head of our product and development team, Mark, who's sitting across from me right now, he's going to share some of our new features, and he's also going to disclose a bit of our eBridge roadmap too, where we're headed. So the questions we've gotten from you over the last year weave kind of nicely into a story about what the retail industry is doing right now, and where you are going, where you're growing, and how our platform can cater to those small customers that are selling internationally, and even the biggest customer, who I think is on the line right now, who is using us to really help with that business logistics. So question one, we get this question all the time from current customers and prospects as well, which is, what systems does eBridge certify in every year? And I can tell you that the logos on the screen are really good partners of eBridge. The first one, Sage, we have been a partner in their ecosystem for many, many years, back when it was ACPAC, for example. And then just this past year, we've certified an X3 Sage app on the Sage marketplace. We are also a Microsoft Gold partner. We have a really good partner team just down the road from us up in Toronto, and they come in the office and help Mark and his team be more efficient on our Azure. And they also help us promote our listing on their app source as well. And also, I'm not sure how many people on the line are using Microsoft ERPs, but the folks in the room and the folks in the building are all learning about 365, Dynamics 365, and where they're going and where our customers could go using those different modules as well. We are a Built for NetSuite certified partner. We are also certified in Magento, and we have 2 app listings and many Shopify and Shopify Plus customers. We're a big commerce partner. And we just recently made a partnership with ShipStation, if you're familiar at all with them. One's not listed, Amazon. We have so many Amazon customers. We also have Salesforce customers, eBay customers, and we're partnered with SPS Commerce as well. The next question, this question is asked a lot during the sales process, is why is eBridge different? Well, number one is we tie ERPs, API, EDI, e-commerce all together so that data can sync back and forth from system to system. But what I think we're most proud of is what I said right when we kicked off the webinar, that there's 65 of us all in one place. And we've been doing this for 25 years. So we get the industry, and we get that it takes a team of folks to make sure that your business runs easier. The other thing that sets us apart is that we're not putting all of this data in some server room that could easily be affected by a power outage. We're hosting our stuff, our platform on Microsoft Azure. The next thing that's cool is that we're universal. Our platform is not a one-to-one. If you're mapping one ERP to one Amazon web store, we didn't create a specific map just for that. We have connectors, we have our platform, and as you grow and add multiple channels to your business, you can just use our connectors and plug in. And you get the services from a team who's on your side from our professional services group too, to make sure that things are turned on correctly when you add a channel or a trading partner. All right, and what have we been up to lately is the next question. Over the last year, Dave Malda, our sales manager, has added 100 new customers. It's amazing, actually. Some really amazing brands too. We're really proud of them all. So we have approximately 700 customers live and running to date. some of you on the line, I can see your names here. You're just doing EDI with us. Some of you are only doing e-commerce with us. Some are doing a mix. And some folks, we integrate your ERP to your CRM like Salesforce. So there's a mix of you all running on the same platform, which is pretty amazing. So we've been adding new connectors. I talked about ShipStation. And for each one of the logos on the screen, you can imagine that each time a new version comes out, we are creating a new connector just for that. So Mark's nodding his head. He's got lots of work. And then the last thing is we moved our platform to Microsoft Azure. And I'm not the most technical person, so I'll let Mark talk about why that's great. And this is the last slide for me, and then I'm going to pass it over. And that's these customers below have agreed to let us write down their integration story. And it is a story. You know, each one of these businesses, they use eBridge's platform to flow orders or shipments, tracking information, inventory, customer data back and forth. They trust us with their lifeblood. So we don't take that lightly. So if you're bored later, go to ebridgeconnections.com/success stories, and you can read how we're helping Everlast, for example. And then Lauren, who's in our marketing team, she's in the room, and she'd love me to say, if you have your own integration story and you want to share it, we'd love to write it. So if you want to reach out, we'd love to write it down as well. Okay, so that's it for me. I'm going to pass it over to Frank and Kim. Our customers wouldn't be successful without the eBridge account management team. So we'll let them talk about some questions they encounter.
Good morning, everyone, and hello to our friends. Good morning to our friends in the West, and good afternoon to everyone in our time. I'm Frank DeSilvio.
I'm Kim Benoit, and Frank and I handle about 75 to 80% of the customers here at eBridge, those who are live and running with our system. The other ones are the ones that Lindsay talked about that are new customers who are still in the original cycle, but Frank and I look after the bulk of us.
And yeah, so just to touch on that, the slide in front of you, you can see some things there. First and foremost, I just want to say hello to a couple of our friends that we see. I'm just going to say the first four I see on the list because there are so many of you. H&R Block, Quick Farms, Topcom, and Clearwater Seafoods, welcome, and thanks for joining, and with everyone else as well. As many of you know, and the people I just named out, they definitely know that I represent 45% of the accounts here at eBridge Connections, so many of you may know my voice already. So we just want to give you a better understanding of what we're here for. You know, most importantly, we're here to address any needs that you may have, or be your main contact here at eBridge. I know we have a lot. Like Lindsay said, we have a boardroom full of people here. We have 65 people in-house. It may be confusing as to reach out to. So, you know, we are here to definitely accommodate that for you, as well as some other things as well, like free consulting services. If you want to be planning, you know, maybe a move to Amazon, you're doing EDI with some big box stores and you want to get your product online, you know, we can definitely, you know, plan a roadmap for you that way, as well as many other things. I don't want to take all the limelight, so I'm going to share with Kim here.
That would be a first.
Yeah, but again, for any of your eBridge needs, feel free to reach out to myself. Go ahead, Kim.
As Frank said, hello to some of my customers who are logged on. I'm not going to name anyone because there's a whole whack of you, but those of you who have worked with both Frank or I, you know that we are always your first line of a contact here. If you have any questions about your current configuration, any changes that you need to make, or you want to know simply if you can do something or not do something easily, we are always here to help you. Frank and I cover off each other, so if you can't find him, you can always find me, and I can usually find him. The gentleman sitting next to me is Killian, who runs the support team, and I'm going to hand him over to you, and he's going to walk you through a little bit about what his excellent team does.
Thanks, Kim. Well, in the eBridge technical support, we supply daily and after-hour support. You can email us, call us. You can even create a ticket from our website, and once you do that, you will hear back from us within 4 hours. We always try to make sure that we address your needs quickly and directly. Our staff is highly efficient, eager to help. We can support your business flow all the way from your accounting package, making sure we get all the information from you needed through ePortal or eICloud, where the data is transformed, all the way to your web store or trading partner to ensure delivery and processing success for your business documents. We support all of eBridge Connection products, no matter whether they are new or legacy software. That includes the bridge, on-site mapping and batch issues, eBridge on the cloud, and the eICloud and ePortal platforms themselves. We troubleshoot all the messages, orders, invoices, shipments, acknowledgements, as well as going in deeper to XML structure, mapping errors, or communication issues. We are excellent at analyzing situations and recommending the best answers for your business needs. In this day of evolving product lines, eBridge Technical Support is there to address your needs. And I suppose, speaking of new products, let me introduce Mark, our Product and Development Manager.
Good morning, everybody. Or good afternoon to those of you, as Frank said, that are in the other time zone. So on the screen here, you can see a screen cap of our new platform. So some of you will recognize this and some of you may not. So for those of you who see this every day, this is where you come to see your documents. This would be the replacement of the old ePortal platform. So for those of you who don't see this every day, this is the new user interface for your document listing. So we try to make the main interface a little bit more holistic. There's one place, and you can see on the left-hand side, you can apply a bunch of different filters so that you can find specific things that you're looking for, but it's all here within one place. So I'm going to talk about a few of the features that we've added. There are more than this, but I specifically wanted to call out a few of them for you. As Lindsay mentioned earlier, our platform is hosted in Azure. So Microsoft's platform is now hosting our application, which is really providing the platform to you. So these are some of the different components that are part of our platform, and you can see the health status of those different portions of our platform. So this is publicly available to you. If you are experiencing a problem, you could always come here and see if there's an availability issue which has caused a delay in your document processing or something like that. If there's something that is not green available here, we already know about it, we're already working on it, but this is really just passing that, making it easily available for you, and makes our platform a little bit more transparent to you. One of the other things that we've added is to provide a more holistic approach to how a document processes. So when we receive a document from an end source, whether it be an EDI trading partner or an e-commerce platform, and we receive that document and we transform it and we apply some translations and integrate it into your accounting system, those messages were all stored in different places. But now they're all visible within one place to you. So you can see start to finish how a document processes. If you reprocess that document a second time, all of those messages are just concatenated on. So you still see the full life cycle of your document in one set of messages in one place. So it's a little bit more grouped together and easier for you to find and trace what's happened to a particular document. One of the other things that we've added is we changed the way in which we do shipping labels. So for some of you, this doesn't apply. This is specifically for EDI, and it's specifically for people who do containerized ASMs. But this is a new feature, which is I think, going to be a pretty helpful one. So shipping labels were a sort of, they were an implied process before. And now we've made them an explicit document. So when you upload a shipment that you want to generate labels for, those labels will become an independent document. So you can see a couple of rows here in the first screenshot. Those are documents in your document list. And if you open them, you can see the labels that we generated for you. Those labels can also automatically stream down to your printer. You could reprocess them if you wanted to, and they would stream down to your printer again, or you can print them from the web browser. You could click on the image and just print right from your preferred browser, Chrome or IE or whatever it happens to be. So the label process is going to be a little bit different. Ultimately, it can still function exactly the same way as if you were doing them automated. You upload your shipment and the labels will come out on your printer. That part can still function for you also. And one of the last things that I wanted to call out was this archive filtering feature. So we had some customers who they get orders and they don't ship those orders for quite a period of time. So if you have an order that doesn't ship for 4 months, then the automatic archiving process would archive that document, and then when you ship it, the automated retrieval process may not extract that document. And so we added a couple of filters here to prevent a document from being archived before it's finished. So you can see the options here. I've turned on shipped and shipment requested, which would be to send it out to a warehouse to ask them to ship it. But you could turn on invoice, for example. So you would not archive this order until it is invoiced. So when you invoice it, we would update that document, the order document, say it's been invoiced, and then it would be available for the next archiving process. So it just keeps the documents that are not finished yet still in your main process, in your main document listing. So those are some of the features that we've added as part of the new platform. So now I wanted to mention a couple of things that are on the roadmap for the platform. If you may have noticed on the new platform that there are a couple of new columns about your mailbox. One of them is the number of items that are on a document and the dollar amount. So these are two fields that we thought were important. And so we've added them to the main engine. So we store that about every document. And in our reports, that you can actually see your transactions, how many you had, and what the dollar amounts of those transactions are. So this is the beginning of the analytical reporting, but there is a whole lot more of it to come. So there will be more canned reports that we're going to do. But also on the roadmap is the ability for you to identify what the key pieces of information are and capture those and group those appropriately, and then build your own reporting off of that. It's certainly not going to be released in the next week, but it's certainly something that we have in the back of our mind and how we want to build it, and to give you that capability that you can do your reporting in a different place as opposed to, say, in your accounting package, because we look at the data a little bit differently than you do in your accounting package. One of the other things that we do, if you look in the top corner of the EI Cloud webpage, there's a question mark where you can provide us feedback. So this feedback is, it comes to me, it comes to a couple of other people, but it also comes to me. And it gives us an opportunity to, as quickly as we can, address that suggestions that you've made. So these are a couple of the things that are on our roadmap. This webinar is one of the new things that we're trying to do to improve the communication that we have with you. But you can certainly communicate with Kim and Frank or anybody else by reaching out to us or using the automated feedback tools. And with more of those communication options, I think Frank is going to take back over.
Yeah, we just had one quick question for you from the chat line, and it's that, do you mind just explaining just really quickly, maybe in a minute, why Azure is so important? And is it Azure or Azure?
So when we had a group of Microsoft people here, and I asked them, is it Azure or is it Azure? And their answer was yes. unless it's Spanish. In Spanish, in Spain, they have a really good way of saying it, but I can't pronounce it properly. Azure is a platform provided by Microsoft. It is multiple data centers across the world, and most of our stuff resides in one data center, but those pieces are geographically replicated. So they are backed up by Microsoft automatically. They are also redundant across those platforms. So, you know, the basic things that you think about from an infrastructure perspective, power, cooling, internet access, Microsoft has taken care of all those things in a massively redundant way. So those things are not a problem for us to worry about anymore, and that really lets us focus on the things that we're good at, as opposed to trying to make sure that we have 2 or 3 internet connections coming into the building. We want to focus on what we're good at, as opposed to trying to provide the things that Microsoft can provide for us.
Great. Thanks, Mark. Okay, over to Frank.
Hello again, everyone. In closing for me, I guess I just want to say that we have an open door policy here at eBridge. We're always on the road. We're doing trade shows, we're doing partner meetups, we're doing, I want to say, certain events. But also, like I said, we have an open door policy. So if you want to come on out and spend a day in this lovely boardroom or take a tour of the office or meet some folks, we encourage it. You know, we'll accommodate your schedule unless I'm on vacation. Then you got to deal with Kim, which is also very pleasant.
So he said.
But also, yeah, and but the same goes as vice versa. If you'd like us to come out and see you, or you have some on-site, you know, requirements that might need some attention or anything like that, we won't shy away from that. We would like to embrace it, and we take those opportunities very seriously, because not only do we get to see our customers' operations better, but we get to create a better relationship with our customers that way. So we're always open to that as well.
I will echo that. If there's anybody on the line whose office is in Hawaii, I would absolutely love to come out and see your facility, so just bring me up.
Awesome. So we spoke for about 25 minutes, and now we want to hear from you, you know, for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, for the rest of time. We always want to hear what you're planning next, where you're going next, and we want to be there to help you and support you. So we covered a lot. We talked about certifications and our partnerships, and how eBridge is always jumping through the hurdles of our tech partners to make sure we're providing you the best connector possible. We talked about EDI, trading partners, and e-commerce, CRM with our account management team. Killian did a great job talking about support, and we have a whole team in-house ready to help you out when you've got an issue. Mark talked about new features, Azure, our EI cloud, which is eBridge Integration Cloud, in case you're wondering, and a little about what we're working on for analytical reporting. And then Frank would love to go to Hawaii, and so would Kim, but we're going to the Internet Retailers Conference in Chicago. We're going to be going to a Big Commerce Summit. We're planning on going to an SAP Business One show and a Microsoft show. And we're always traveling around, so we'd love to meet with you in person. Let us know anytime.
Yeah, and if you'd like a list of the shows that we're attending, just reach out to myself and Frank, and we can provide you that. Yeah.
So thanks again. We went over time, so we won't have a chance to answer any other questions, but you will hear from us today. And I'm going to wrap up by saying, you know, from all 65 of us here at eBridge headquarters, thanks so much for your time today, and thanks for being our customer. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.